So, Mr. Primetime, we decided to do some videos tonight, and we got some breaking news. The New
What's
York
that?
Jets have signed left tackle Mekhi Becton, 4 years, $18.45 million, $11 million signing bonus, and the salary cap charge is $3.35 million for your starting left tackle. So it's good news that he is signed before camp, and now the games begin because I think only Ashtyn Davis is the only guy left to be signed, which I think we could assume that he'll be signed before training camp because if not, that'd be ridiculous. But good news, man. There's no holdout, no drama. Becton's
Yeah.
here. He's happy, and we're ready to roll.
Yeah, I mean, we all remember the Sam Darnold drama from 2 years ago, leading up to camp and, missing some time there. That was obviously not fun. So it's good to have a draft pick signed, with a week to go before camp. And listen, I'm incredibly excited about Becton. It's not the sexy pick that I think everybody wanted at 11. I know, we took calls for weeks. Everybody wanted the receiver, whether it was Judy or CeeDee Lamb. That would have been the sexy pick. But going offensive line, finally dedicating ourselves to the trenches, dedicating yourself to protecting Sam, I think that's just the biggest thing for this team. Allowing Sam to have some time back there to gain confidence and just grow as a young quarterback, whether it's also with the ground and pound, being able to work off that. If Becton's able to come in right away, and I don't think there's any reason he can at 6'7", 360, and be that bodyguard that we haven't had for, since DeBrickashaw, and even him, like he was a very good player, Pro Bowler, but he wasn't like, the nasty, mean kind of guy that really established like a meme streak on your offensive line. Becton can do that. So that's what's really exciting about that pick.
Yeah, the one thing that, like when he was going into the draft, he was like a kind of a boomer bust kind of guy. We're like, listen, his ceiling, is like off the charts where he could be a dominant all-pro guy. But his bust was like, dude, he could be a bust where he can't stop pass rushers. But the one thing you got to be impressed by is his mindset, his work ethic, his leadership, his character. He loves being a Jet. He loves being in New York. He loves to work hard. He's finding every way to get better. If you watch his Instagram or whatever else, he is working his ass off trying to get better in terms of strength, conditioning, his diet, whatever it is. Brian Baldinger, he went to the lineman camp. He's there. And it's like you got to be excited, man. Like he has just raw, freakish, athletic ability. You hope the Jets coach him up right. You hope he starts day one at left tackle and let him play and let him learn. And to me, we've talked about this in the past, but it's like call your offense where he's not going to get exposed early on. Like the last thing you want to see is get him, man-to-man against whoever, whatever guy from Buffalo, and he's getting exposed. Like, let him get his feet wet. Let him get acclimated and then move on. Like, don't put him on an island by himself and get roasted. Like, let's get it assimilated to the NFL. But, it's exciting, man. Like, if you could have that kind of guy and you have, we're talking about offensive line our next video, like, or with McGovern. I mean, dude, these are the young building blocks you need for the next 10, 15 years. Like, this is what we wanted for a long time. And he could be that guy. So to have him in before training camp, to have no drama, now it's like get down to work. The contract, I mean, they're all slotted at this point. There's no surprises there. It's all guaranteed, whatever. I don't even care about that. Like, I don't care about contracts anymore. I can give a shit. Yeah, but it's exciting, dude. Like, it's just, you want him to be that dominant force. And to me, I run Le'Veon Bell right behind him, dude. Let him just maul people and let Le'Veon do his thing or whoever you want, Perrine or Gore or whoever it is, and see what happens. But this hopefully is a guy for the years to come where you have a left tackle, which is one of the hardest things to find. And we've been blessed with DeBrickashaw. When we didn't have DeBrickashaw, you saw how we went between Clady and all this other, good luck to Beacham in Arizona. But this is hopefully a guy that we can rely on, man.
Yeah, and hopefully he could be that from day one. Hopefully you don't have to, bring in a tight end to, give him some help or, even move him over to the right side. Hopefully he is your left tackle from day one. And yeah, I mean, you look at all the videos that you talked about on Instagram that he's posting. He seems like he's got his head in the right space. So yeah, he's working hard and he's trying to get a little bit more, I think, athletic and quicker with the feet. And that was one of the aspects of his game that I think a lot of people underrated before he was drafted. We all kind of looked at him as this, all right, 6'7", he's 360, he's got to be, a little bit on the slower side. He doesn't move like he's slow. You watch more film on him, and he's pretty athletic. He moves around pretty well. So I'm excited to see what he does and how quickly his game can translate.
And there was some notion, like right now, like everybody's writing so many things, and half it's bullshit. You don't know what really to believe. But the idea that he should practice at left and right tackle, I think, is so fucking stupid. Like left tackle, and that's it. Like let's not play games. Let's not overwhelm him. You don't know what kind of practice schedule we're gonna have, but give him one playbook and left tackle, and that's it, dude.
That's one thing that I worry about because when you listen to George Fenn, it seems like he was signed with the intention that he was going to get an opportunity to play left tackle.
Yep.
So what you kind of just talked about the last video with Gase, kind of favoring some of the veterans, you wonder if Fant's going to get that opportunity because he was signed for $9 million, or whether or not they just say, hey, you and Adoga, you go at it at right tackle. This is our left tackle.
Yeah, that shit will piss me off. Like, this is it. Like you don't want him to play this year at right and move him to left. He plays left tackle. That's where he should be day one. Excuse me. Let him learn. And that's it. Like, this isn't the time to start playing games. Like, he has the athletic ability to do it. Like you saw it. Like, you see what he does, dude. So it's
the only reason that would have been acceptable is if you would have made a trade for Trent Williams.
Yep.
Trade for Trent Williams, and he's your left tackle, and then you move him over to the right side. That would have been nice, but
yeah. So
for Fant, you're not. Yeah, you're not.
No.
Yeah.
Fant. Yeah. But so most of the rest of the draft class is signed. Ashtyn Davis is the only one, like I said. And now it's exciting, man. Like, you hope that they all can contribute, and you see what happens. I know the expectations for Ashtyn Davis are off the charts already, based on what everybody thinks he can do next to either Marcus May or Jamal Adams or whatever he does. Zuniga, a lot of people are very high on him, man. We had, last week on the show, CJ said, listen, he watched Florida all the time. He's a very good pass rusher, more from the inside than the outside, which is just like, great. That's not, but whatever. And then you have the punter, Braden Mann. I mean, there's a lot of high expectations, a lot of positivity. But now it's like, now all this film studying, all this shit we've been watching and reading is done. Like, now you got to do it on the field. Now is your time to shine. Now you're trying to make the team, become a starter, earn your reps, do all that. And we'll see what they can do. Like, it's, like, now there's no more, I don't care what somebody showed me on YouTube. That doesn't matter anymore. Now it's a matter. You got to earn your playing time now.
Yeah, and, like you said, I think Ashtyn Davis, he's going to have a real shot to, be an impact player on this defense. He might not be a starter, but I think he's going to see the field a lot more than people think, in 3 safety packages and special teams as well. And then, with Denzel Mims, unfortunately, I feel like no matter what he does this year, it's not going to be enough as far as, like, the Jet fan perception goes, and what the expectations are going to be for him. But, I look at his wide receiving profile, and, we're going to talk about that in the next video. I think he can really be a solid weapon that can grow with Sam for the next 5 to 10 years. It's just a matter of, how quickly that ability translates, coming from Baylor where he wasn't really asked to do a whole lot. I think it may take a little bit of time, but I think that, you will see some flashes there where he does make some plays. I just think that you're also going to have a lot of people that are expecting a lot more from him this year, where he's probably not going to give you, 70, 80 catches this season. That's just not, realistic. So
yeah, that's the whole thing. We'll talk about that, like I said, in the receiver video, but it's like the Jet fans want a number one receiver so bad that they want him to be it tomorrow. Yep. And you got to keep it all in perspective. Like, if I'm putting pressure on somebody, it's more on Perryman than Mims. Mims, it's like, listen, he's so young, so explosive, patience. And you don't want to be patient as Jet fans because we want to win this year and want to do all this other stuff. But for me, he's the one guy I'm patient with. Like, listen, we know what he can do. We know what he has to learn and what he has to get used to. And that's going to take time. And most NFL rookies as a receiver, they don't have, unless you're DK Metcalf, but like, it takes a little time to get acclimated. He wasn't a top 10 pick. He wasn't CeeDee Lamb. He wasn't Jerry Jeudy. He was picked later on, second round. So the expectation should be lower just because of that. He wasn't a premium pick. So don't treat him like a premium player right away.
No, I agree, but I think the Jet fan that's been, taunted with Devin Smith and Darius Stewart, Chad Hansen, Stephen Hill.
I'm still a Devin Smith fan. I don't really care.
I am too. He burned Josh Norman last year. But yeah, I just think that with all the picks that kind of have come in and not done a whole lot, or even Stephen Hill, he has the one monster game, against Buffalo to start off his career, and then there's nothing after that. I just think those visions are kind of going to come into play if Denzel Mims doesn't have a monster rookie season. Everyone's going to anticipate the worst, even though he may show a lot of progress and the arrow may be pointing up after the season. If he doesn't have that huge season, I think a lot of fans may be down on him, unfortunately. I hope not, but I can kind of see that happening.
Yeah, so this is Joe Douglas's first draft class. You want to see, they were all about, high character, high energy, football guys, team first guys. Yep. You want to see that infusion of talent and that mindset into the locker room. And now it's like, we went through draft classes with McCagnon. We're like, oh, this draft class is awesome. Like, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And now it's like, you want to see all the results now. You want to see what are they going to bring. Are they going to, Ja'Kai Polite last year was off the team in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, what would be the instant feedback of these guys? Are they going to get it? Will it be too big for them? Will they, will it translate? Everything we heard about them, will it translate immediately? And, I think the one benefit the Jets have is that you have guys like C.J. Mosley and you have, Steve McClendon and Frank Gore, which I don't like Frank Gore, but Le'Veon Bell. You have a lot of these veteran guys that hopefully can guide them through this because there's so much uncertainty with all this pandemic and everything.
Yeah, and not just that, but I'm pretty sure every pick from the second round through the fourth or fifth round, they were all team captains. So
Yep.
guys that should be in the playbook, guys that aren't going to come in fooling around. These are all guys that you would think have their head on the right way. And yeah, if you have the right leaders that can kind of unlock that ability as well, that's a good scenario to have. That's a good situation to be in.
Yeah, so good job by Joe Douglas, man. Everybody's pretty much signed, done deal. And to me, I think the sky. I mean, I can't wait to see what Becton can do, man. Like, I just hope he is that force that we can just build this line behind and can help us change momentum on the line of scrimmage, get the running game back, and we can just have some fun football to watch. Especially,
Yeah.
how cool would it be to watch like Becton with no fans in the stands, Becton just
Oh,
mauling people, then talking shit to him too. Like,
dude.
he throws them on the ground, looks down and talks to him. Dude,
Hey, gives him an elbow, gives him the business. Dude,
that'd
that's
be
exactly
awesome,
what I
wouldn't
want.
it?
That's exactly what I want, dude. Like an identity, a mean streak, like
Yep.
nasty dudes up front that like teams come in. You don't want to mess with these guys. Like that's what you really need up front. Not just an offensive line that can kind of get by, an actual offensive line that will not let anybody touch Sam. That's going to open up holes for Bell. That's where you build your offense. So I think this was a great start with Becton and even getting McGovern as well. And yeah, just build from there. You got some veterans at guard, and hopefully Fant or Adoga steps up at right tackle, and you're set.
Yeah, so draft class is in the books pretty much. Davis is next, and we're all done, man. So
Looking good, man.
that's 3.